Welcome back. Before you head out with your camera this summer, you'll want to listen to my next guest. He's got one of the most amazing photography websites on the net, and Sam Javanrouh is here to give us some tips on how to take some perfect photos for the summer. Sam, great to have you back with us.
Thank you very much, David.
You keep an amazing photo blog, which Torontonians and all sorts of people literally around the world tap into. And
thank you.
You've just won an international award. Go ahead and brag, and well-deservedly so. You won the photo blog.
Well, yeah, it's I won the photo bloggers, which is an international award for photo blogs. It has it's 24 categories, and it's every year. So I just won, actually 2 days ago, I just won the Photo Blog of the Year award, which was great.
Absolutely, congratulations.
Thank you.
No surprise at all, which is why we had you on the program a couple of months ago, and why one of the reasons we invited you back. Let's take a look at some of the pictures. You take a daily picture of Toronto.
Exactly. So the idea is I take one photo every day. So this is, for example, the photo that I posted today. The idea is there is a date for every picture, and there's a title, and then you can go to the day before. And you can also, some of the photos are actually large, and you can make them smaller. You can leave comments, and you click on day before, and it goes to the, you can go through the days.
What's that one?
This one is actually right around Distillery District. This is a few days ago after the rain, which I was just walking home from work, and I saw this little scene, which was actually one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about was little tips about how to make your photos look a little better than normal snapshots. For example, in a situation like this, I noticed that this was very late in the day, so the sun was low, so as you can see, the shadow is very long. So I pretty much took a photo of the reflection, and it was a good sky, which is like a lot of, you have the clouds after the rain.
Yes.
And very strong colors, which is a great time to shoot photos.
Like a wall, or?
Yeah, it's like actually a wooden fence around this area. Yeah, I have no idea. Like it was a great combination of the three colors, red and green and blue. So I took the shot, but it's one of those occasions that you usually don't take a picture late in the day or after the rain.
Right.
But actually, it's one of the best days to take a photo. Like this is another example. The same time, it's another building. As using the reflection is a really important thing in taking like photos that are a little different, look a little better.
This is why we see in the movies when they have shots at night.
Exactly.
Regardless of the weather, the streets are always soaking wet.
Exactly. You're right. Yeah. Absolutely. I always take photos after the rain because of the reflection adds so much to it. So this is again one of the examples. Using the reflection. This is again on Mill Street actually, right around Parliament and King, just south of King, I'll show you another example. Again, a sky like this is perfect for photography because blue skies tends to be boring, and a little bit of a cloud helps a lot. This is one shot that I shot in Ottawa, but it's a good example of how to use a polarizer filter to bring out the blue in the sky, which actually tends to be in the middle of the day. If you take a photo of the sky, the blue looks very pale and not interesting. But if you use a polarizer filter, pretty much you can use the polarizer filter on any camera these days, and it brings out the blue so much. This is one of the examples.
So you would just take your camera in and ask for a polarizer filter?
Yeah, that fits your camera, and then it's you have to be careful that when you use a polarizer filter, the angle of your camera should be 90 degrees to the sun. So the sun should be either on your left or on your right to get that color out of the sky. So this is another...
With that limitation, and that's not very much, that's just a stunningly beautiful picture.
Thank you very much. This is another example of the same, actually, technique. But I'll move on to another photo. This is an example of a very early in the morning shot, which is a very warm tone and very nice, colors in the sky.
Just beautiful.
Again,
and where's that located?
This is actually Wainscott, New York. I was there for a business trip, and I noticed that this is actually shot while a car was moving, so I didn't have time. The next photo is this, again, looking at the reflections. This is the reflections of the building behind me when I shot this photo. The light play that you see on this are actually the reflections of the windows on a building across the street.
Now, all these pictures you've shown us, are these taken by a digital camera? Or
these are all digital camera because it makes it much easier for me because I post one photo every day.
Yes.
It makes it way easier for me to shoot digitally as opposed to film, although film looks great too, but digital.
How many pictures, digital pictures, do you take to get one good one?
Well, that's a good question. Sometimes I take 200 photos a day, and at the end of the day, when I go home, I'm not happy with them. And sometimes, you know, I take 2, and both of them come out nice. It really depends on the time of the day, you know, what your subject is, and everything actually plays a role. This is another example of how you can.
This is a beautiful one.
Thank you. This is actually, I shot this from my condominium, like from the window. It's across the street. It's a long lens. There's a building right across the street from where I live on Bay and Edward. And this is the reflection of all the buildings around.
So that's another
office building exactly across the street, which is, thank you. Again, using reflections is always good. This is a coffee shop in Distillery District called Balzac Cafe. Again, this is one of those examples that you want to always change your perspective, your point of view. There's a staircase I went high up and took this shot to make it more interesting, so you see like the whole overall feel of the space, which is another good tip to take photographs instead of eye level, which is everybody takes an eye level photo. But if you can find somewhere to, you know, go higher above the ground to take a photo, or even you can sometimes lie down and take a photo, it's much more interesting than a normal
Sam,
photo.
are there a handful of just flat-out common mistakes that people make with their photography and just that everybody does?
Yeah, one of the most common ones is when it's a very sunny day and a very blue sky, people tend to say, okay, this is the perfect time to take photos, and they bring their cameras out, which is actually not a very good time to take photographs because the shadows are very harsh. The sun is in the middle. You're going to get very harsh shadows and very flat feel to your 3D objects. And basically towards the end of the day, just before it's going dark or very early in the morning, are perfect times for taking photos. That's one of the things that I think it's very important to know when you're taking a photo. And also the limitations of your camera. For example, a photo like this is we were at one of my friends was behind the wheels. She was driving, and then I just took the camera out of the sunroof and took this without looking at the viewfinder, but I was lucky to get an interesting picture. This is actually on Bay and Bloor.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, but it got that, you know, computer, like a video game feel to the photo.
Definitely, and a Ferrari right in front.
Yeah, exactly.
The ambience.
Exactly. This is the sky, bringing out the sky like that. Again, a polarizer filter helped a lot, and I also used Photoshop to make the sky look a little more vibrant.
Sam, always a pleasure to have you on the program. The website, www.ddoi.ca.
That's right.
That's great. Well, again, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Award, best photo blog in the world, and we see why. And we'll look forward to your next visit.
Thank you, David.
Thanks for being with us.
Glad to be here. Thanks.
Well, something new today from Nike and Apple to help with your workout. The two companies have teamed up to produce a smart workout